What's up, Bills Mafia? Welcome back to the channel, your one source for all things Buffalo Bills, where we keep it real, raw, and right here with the fans. Every move, every storyline, every whisper in the wind, we're breaking it down together. Now, before we dive into today's massive update, and this one has some serious emotion behind it, don't forget to drop a like, smash that subscribe button, and hit the bell so you never miss the latest breaking news, trade talk, or inside scoop about your Buffalo Bills. Because let me tell you something right off the bat. This team, your team, is working harder than ever to refine every detail. The goal? Dominate the AFC, win playoff games, and finally bring that Lombardi trophy back to Western New York. And today, a major piece just returned to the puzzle. Tredavius White is back. Let's break it all down. He never said he wouldn't come home. Tredavius White, the all-pro, the shutdown specialist, our guy, is officially returning to Buffalo on a one-year deal worth up to $6.8 million, according to ESPN's Adam Schefter. Let that sink in for a second. This is the same Tredavius White who just last season we painfully watched walk away, released as a salary cap casualty after everything he gave to this team. But now he's back in red, white, and blue. Back where he belongs. White's return marks more than just a roster move. It's an emotional reunion with a fan base that's never stopped loving him, a defense that's always missed him, and a locker room that knows exactly what he brings. Leadership, lockdown coverage, and that undeniable fire. The message is clear. Buffalo isn't done. We're loading up, and we're doing it with familiar faces who know what it means to fight for this city. Let's not forget what Tredavius White has been through. Drafted 27th overall in 2017. Yeah, the same year the Bills traded a 10 pick to Kansas City, who turned it into a guy named Patrick Mahomes. We remember. We've lived that. But while the Chiefs got Mahomes, we got White, a player who became the cornerstone of our defense. In 2019, he earned first-team All-Pro honors with 6 INTs, 11 pass breakups, and 2 forced fumbles. He was a certified lockdown corner. Teams didn't even bother throwing to his side. But then came the injuries. A torn ACL in 2021 on Thanksgiving night. A torn Achilles in September of 2023. 2 devastating injuries that would derail most careers. But not Trey. He fought back. He made appearances for both the Rams and Ravens last season. And now, at 30 years old, he's healthy, hungry, and home. This isn't just a signing, it's a redemption arc. It's unfinished business. So how does this move fit into the big picture? Let's talk about our cornerback room, because it's been a topic all off season. Christian Benford, locked in, fresh off an extension. A rising star. Taron Johnson, slot master, one of the most underrated defenders in the league. But the other outside spot? That was the problem. Rasul Douglas, the last year's starter, is gone. Free agent. No return in sight. Dane Jackson, another familiar face, came back after a stint with Carolina. But let's be honest, Mafia, Jackson is solid depth. Not your starter on a Super Bowl contender. That's where Trey comes in. If he's anything close to his pre-injury form, he immediately upgrades his defense. His knowledge of McDermott's scheme, his chemistry with Hyde and Poyer, if Poyer returns, and his experience in big-time moments. You can't put a price on that. This signing gives Buffalo options, and better yet, it gives them hope at a position that was looking shaky just a few weeks ago. Now, you've probably seen the rumors. Jalen Ramsey, yes, that Jalen Ramsey, 7-time Pro Bowler, 3-time All-Pro, still one of the most respected corners in the game, and now, apparently on the outs with Miami, the Dolphins and Ramsey have reportedly agreed to part ways, and naturally speculation is swirling. Could the Bills make a move? Let's talk reality. Would Ramsey instantly upgrade this defense? Absolutely. Would he pair beautifully with Benford and Johnson? You bet, but can Buffalo afford it? Here's the hard truth. Ramsey carries a $16.6 million cap hit this year. The Bills sitting at just $5.2 million in available cap space. Unless Miami is willing to eat a huge chunk of that deal, and let's be honest, why would they help out their biggest division rival? This trade feels more like a pipe dream than a real possibility. Still, it's the kind of bold, splashy move that gets fans talking. And hey, maybe Bean has one more trick up his sleeve. You never count him out. But for now, the return of Tredavius White feels like the safer, smarter play. A veteran with something to prove in the heart of a champion. Let's zoom out for a second. This offseason, we've seen some big changes in Buffalo. From the Stephon Diggs trade to a focus on younger, faster weapons, it's clear the front office is retooling, not rebuilding. And defense, that's still the foundation. Sean McDermott's system demands discipline, smart, and physical play, especially in the secondary, with White back in the mix, Benford ascending, and Taron Johnson anchoring the slot. The Bills are rebuilding that shutdown identity. We may not land a superstar like Ramsey, but this defense is shaping up to be tough, aggressive, and battle-tested. Exactly the kind of unit you want heading into January. The Buffalo Bills were on the clock with the 7th overall pick. We were searching for the guy, the quarterback to finally pull us out of the post-Kelly wilderness. No more Band-Aids, no more backups pretending to be starters, no more heartbreak. The fans were buzzing, and one name was on their lips. Josh. But not that Josh Bills fans, and I'm talking a solid chunk of us, were begging, pleading, and praying for Josh Rosen, the UCLA product, the so-called most NFL-ready QB in the class, the guy who looked the part, polished, pro-style, played against elite competition. Then came the announcement: with the 7th pick in the 2018 NFL Draft, the Buffalo Bills select Josh. The crowd erupts in cheers, hugs, fist bumps. You can almost hear someone shout, "Yes, we got him." Allen, quarterback, Wyoming, record scratch, silence, then panic. The reaction? Oh man, complete chaos. Faces twisted in disbelief. Fans yelling, "What?" One guy practically collapses into his chair. Another is shouting about Allen's completion percentage, like he's reading off a war crime. It's funny now. It's hilarious even. But in that moment, it was a meltdown. And today, with the 2025 draft just days away, that video is back. And Bills Mafia is getting a second chance to reflect. Now, let's be real. Back in 2018, Josh Allen was one of the biggest question marks in the draft. Big arm? Sure, elite athleticism? No doubt. But accuracy, decision-making, level of competition, critics hammered him. Some called him a project. Others said he wouldn't make it past year 2. There were national pundits who flat out hated the pick. And a lot of Bills fans, understandably, just weren't sold. Meanwhile, Josh Rosen? He was the safe pick. The cerebral one, confident, well-spoken. He said during the draft process that 9 mistakes were made ahead of me. That confidence turned a lot of heads. But here we are. 7 years later, Josh Allen is the NFL MVP, day A franchise icon, one of the top quarterbacks on the planet. And Josh Rosen? He hasn't played a regular season NFL snap since, I'd say, 21. He bounced around from the Cardinals to the Dolphins, the 49ers, Falcons, Browns, Vikings, and eventually faded out of the league. It's the kind of storyline that reminds us just how unpredictable the NFL draft really is. So what changed? How did the kid from Wyoming, the so-called project, become the guy? The answer is simple: work ethic, development, and belief. Allen didn't come into the league as a finished product. Far from it. But he landed in a place that gave him time, structure, and coaching. Shout out to Brian Daboll and Jordan Palmer for being huge in that development. Most importantly, he had a front office and a fan base that, after a rocky start, believed in him. From stiff-arming defenders to launching 70-yard bombs, Allen grew year by year. His accuracy improved, his decision-making sharpened, his leadership blossomed. By 2020, he had taken the Bills to the AFC Championship. By 2024, he was the NFL MVP, carving up defenses with his arm, legs, and will to win. He became everything we ever dreamed of in a franchise QB, and now, those same fans who screamed in disbelief on draft night, they're rocking 17 jerseys shouting, "Allen is him" from the tailgate, and writing apology posts on X. So why does this resurfaced video matter now, 7 years later? Because we're a week away from the 2025 NFL Draft. And once again, we're entering the unknown. Who will the Bills pick? Will it be a flashy wide receiver, a hard-hitting safety, a developmental edge rusher? Whatever it is, we need to remember. The lesson from 2018, trust the process. Draft night reactions are just that, reactions. They're emotional, sometimes misguided, and sometimes, like in Allen's case, they age like milk. The truth is, fans, the front office has earned our trust. Brandon Beane and Sean McDermott have consistently kept this team competitive. They've drafted talent, built culture, made bold moves, and they turned a once laughingstock franchise into a perennial contender. So when draft night comes next week, whether we're excited, confused, or frustrated, let's take a breath, because you never know when your project pick is about to become the best quarterback in football. So now I gotta ask you, Bills Mafia, how are you feeling about the return of Tredavius White? Is this the comeback story we've all been waiting for? Do you believe he can reclaim that all-pro form and lock down one side of the field again? And what about Ramsey? If the money somehow worked out, would you take the risk? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I want to hear it all. Let's get the debate going. And hey, if you appreciated this breakdown, and if you love seeing this team fight, claw, and build something special right in front of our eyes, make sure to smash that like button, subscribe for more exclusive content, and turn on notifications so you're first in line when the next big story drops. We've got draft content, more roster news, and maybe even a surprise trade or two. You know how this team rolls. Until next time, keep the faith, hold the line, and as always, go Bills.